Hi and welcome to the Adelaide Horror Podcast. It's episode 6. It's your host Zombie Joe, and this afternoon I'm going to be talking about war horror, and I'm going to be reviewing 2019 Blood Vessel by Justin Dix. Now, this movie I kind of came into my little radar a while ago. The artwork jumped out on me for this, and that's what got my attention immediately, because I was like, whoa. The reason why, because I'm starting to look into horror movies as they're coming out now, and I've noticed that the title artwork, the video covers, I'll still say video covers because my age, is the artwork's going back to the 80s and the 70s. So the late 70s, early 80s, when the artwork of videos and movies would just jump and punch you in the face, and immediately got you interested and attracted to the upcoming film that was coming out. For me, as a kid, going to a video store in the early 80s, mid 80s, these title artwork would scare the shit out of me and would singe into my brain, and pretty much was nightmare fuel for me for a few years until I was old enough to really dig them, and actually now I love them. So initially it scared me, but now I'm a fan of. And I've noticed that the movies now, and I think it's awesome, and please don't stop, right, is that they're going back to that VHS mid-80s horror artwork, where the artwork and the illustrations on the movie would describe what the movie's about. You know, sometimes you'd have the villain involved and the victims and the characters. Sometimes it'd be one. What I mean by that is, okay, one good example: Sleepaway Camp, a sneaker with a boa knife going through it with blood dripping down. You know, you're like, holy crap! What is that? It gets your interest, and it piques you, it scares you, it does all the right things that it's supposed to. And the cover art now on a lot of movies coming out and upcoming movies, and the last couple of for the last 6 months I've been doing so. Really awesome. So the artwork that I'm talking about, it's got here art direction by Joe Oliveira. Now, I hope this is the guy that's behind it, because I want to personally say, Joe, well done, mate. You get a beer for me. So you can quote me on that. You can say, hey, Joe, leave comments in the thing. Hey, Joe, you owe me a beer. No worries, mate. You will. Happy to do it. I owe Justin a beer. I owe the special effects department a beer. Makeup effects, the Wicked of Oz crew, and the actors a beer. So I'm going to be shouting everyone a beer by the end of this review. Awesome movie. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to enthusiastically rant here, so I need to stick to my notes, or it's going to be like my wedding speech. Yeah. Directed by Justin Dix. The movie before this that I recognise and I have to watch again is Crawl Space in 2012. That was a really good horror movie as well. And if you haven't seen it, I recommend it as well. Definitely check that out. The budget and the gross amount I haven't got. I think it's too early for IMDb to get onto that, and quite frankly they're just busy giving out shit scores, so yeah, I couldn't find out the details on that. So what I'm going to do is going to replace that section with the announcement section of these legends that are responsible for this movie. Okay, so let's get into it. Makeup department: Andrew Culver, Sasha De La Hoya Rinstrom, Josie Hanuska, Tristan Lucas, Dion Mark, Lou McLaren, Ricky Norman, Luke Pulte, Lizzie Sharp, and special effects. The supervisor was John Sanderson, Bronwyn Kettles, Grant Lovering, Dante New, Kurt Rohan, William Scroswell, Steve Sexton, Cameron Smith, Caitlin Thomas, and Lincoln Wogan. Now, from a guy like myself, I have got a supercalifragilistic expialidocious surname as well. So my surnames are mispronounced all the time. I apologise that I mispronounced yours. But I had to say your name out loud because you guys are awesome and the best. And this movie is fantastic. So well done. Well done, guys. And that's why I had to kind of push through in saying your names. And I apologise if I've mispronounced them. So, but you've done a great job, guys. Massive pat on the back. The cast involved, we've got a pretty decent Australian cast in there. There's 2 American actors in this, and one British actor, and the rest are Australians. So we've got an Australian playing a Russian, and we've got an Australian playing a British nurse. So we've got Nathan Phillips. He's the Australian soldier in this one. You'd know him from Blue Heelers and Stingers. Well, the Australian viewers would know him from Blue Heelers and Stingers, but international viewers may recognise him from the horror movie Wolf Creek with John Jarratt. Alyssa Sutherland, you'd know her from The Devil Wears Prada and also Vikings, the TV show. Robert Taylor, he's a very good Australian actor, has been around for a very long time. The Australian viewers would recognise him from Blue Heelers and Stingers as well. So both Ryan and Robert have worked together. I don't know if on the same episodes, but they've worked on the same 2 TV shows. But Robert, he plays the sheriff in Longmire, and he's also in Meg, the giant shark movie, and Rogue, the giant croc movie. So there's giant animals eating him seems to be a theme with Robert, but he's in both those movies. Christopher Kirby, he's an American actor. You would know him from Iron Sky, and he was also in The Matrix 2 and 3. Moser, I think his character's name, Mausser, I think Moser or Moser. That was his character. Alex Cook, he was in Mr. Dundee on Netflix currently. That's on Netflix, and as well as this movie. And Mark Diaco, he's in. I did some more research, and I couldn't recognize any US TV shows or movies that he was in. But he's got a lot of film credits behind him. So you know, the dude's no slouch. He's pretty good. He was a good character in this one too. He acted very well. And John Flingham, he's the UK actor. And the Australian and UK viewers would know him from The Bill, Coronation Street, and Heartbeat, because these 3 British shows are very popular in Australia. We've got a TV channel that specialises in a lot of British shows in the 80s, and Coronation Street and The Bill were pretty frequent on that, and Heartbeat was pretty popular in the 2000s as well. So then you got the 3 actors that played they're called the Monarchs in this one. So obviously they're suggesting that these are the original vampires, like that created vampirism globally, hence the title, the Monarchs. So the female matriarch is Vivian Perry, and Troy Larkin is the male matriarch, and the little girl, the child matriarch, is Ruby Isabel Hall. When you look at their credits on IMDb, it's just this movie. That's it. So if this is their first movie, well done. Well done. Man, you know what? I'll even give the kid Ruby a beer. Like, come to Uncle Joe, I'll give you a beer for the first time. Well done. Good job. You know, holy smokes. They did a great job, especially Ruby. Like when she's running around the ship and crawling and ducking through holes and through staircases and all this kind of stuff in the ship. Man, like the physical work she put in was amazing. Like, so well done. And I'm really impressed that this was kind of her first movie. Like, well done. And same as Vivian and Troy. Like, to have that much makeup on you and then portray, you know, 2 really evil characters. Like, man, oh man. And so when I looked and I went, holy shit, this is their first movie. Like, I thought, wow, like, that's incredible. So I'm not going to be surprised if these guys get picked up for more things. And they should, for sure. The main things that jumped out about this movie for me that really kind of blew my cotton socks off was what I've put down here, and it may not make sense to people watching, but I kind of hope you understand what I'm trying to say when I say this, is the font in the credits. I said it's like the font from Nosferatu, like, and so I just put here Nosferatu font in red, and with the black background and the red writing, it gives it that really eerie kind of, but it's almost a Germanic font as well. So I could be wrong about the Nosferatu thing, but it just reminded me a bit of Nosferatu. So that's the one thing that I really liked as well. The music, right? Let me hunt down the music. Hang on. Yep. Brian Chichillo. Now, Brian, I owe you a beer. Holy smokes. Like, the music from the start to the end of this movie is amazing. That's what's playing in the background now. I hunted down on it on Spotify and got it playing in the background because I wanted people to hear it. Get on Spotify, listen to the soundtrack. Holy smokes. I'm going to be playing this when I'm writing because this is really inspirational, eerie music that I would love to write to. This is perfect. The opening sequence, you've got survivors in a life raft. There is nothing around them. They're in the open ocean, right? The music and the credits, it gives you that sense of dread. It gives you the sense of helplessness of just being in a life raft and that's it. Like, they've just overcome something pretty horrific. And so the music, every stage of this film nails what is going on the screen. And that's why I said I'm saying to Brian, well done, mate. Like, fantastic job. Fantastic job. The pace of the film as well is really good. Now, it's an hour and 38. They're on a life raft. The ship comes into view, and we see the ship 4 minutes into the movie. So for an hour and 34, you're engaged with this movie. If you're not engaged and you're looking at your fucking mobile phone like in the middle of this movie, you are probably one of those fucktards on IMDb that left those stupid comments that I accidentally came across. And oh mate, I wish Chopper Reed was still alive so I could hire him to go around and pay some of these commenters a visit with the bloody blowtorch to the feet. I tell you, oh my god, what stupid comments. And mate, aren't you embarrassed? Like, honestly, one girl wrote down, it was more talking and less blood sucking. I'm like, I'm sorry, if you wanted more sucking and less talking, it's called Pornhub. Like, what are you on here for? What are you doing, man? Like, it's, oh man, I couldn't believe it. Some other dude pissed on about that the music was too loud and they couldn't hear the dialogue. I'm like, what the fuck? What movie are you watching? Like, did you type in a bootleg copy of Blutwiesel? Like, what movie did you watch? It's called Readjust Your Sound Level, mate. Like, what the hell? Like, even the vampire was subtitled, so you could follow that. Like, oh god, fuck. I just looked at it and shit, Justin, don't pay attention to it. The actors in this movie, don't pay attention to it. Oh my god, bunch of ass clowns. And I just looked and I thought, fuck, aren't you embarrassed putting that comment there? Your face is there, and then your name is there, and I'm like, are you for real? Are you for real? Like, and you're not embarrassed? Keep your fucking comment to yourself. If you don't like a movie, don't like a movie. Don't go on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes and start going, fucking my feelings were hurt, you know. Oh, mate, it's just stupid, absolutely stupid. So yes, anyway, like I said, it's getting ranty. It's starting to become my wedding speech, so I'm going to get back to my notes. Not that I ranted and got angry in my wedding speech. I just wanted to clarify that. So let's get back to the notes. So fast pace of the movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was well done. The ping pong dialogue. Now, I've mentioned this in a few episodes where I referred to it as a ping pong dialogue. Most movies have got this. It's the start of the film. It's a group of people, and they start going ping, 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 and you get to know their name, who they're about, what they're doing, their kind of backstory, and they've got to zoom it through so then everyone watching it kind of knows what these people are about, and then you kind of either like them or you hate them or whatever. That's the purpose of it. So the interesting aspect of the start of this group of people is because they've had to deal with something really full on before this, right? They're not friendly. Like, these guys are hurting physically, they're mentally hurt, they're exhausted, they've probably got post-traumatic stress disorder, they're fucking starving, they're freezing, like, and they're in they've just survived their hospital ship being torpedoed. So they would have lost people, right? Lost mates, comrades, co-workers, whatever, right? They're not going to be the Brady Bunch. Like, so they're in the boat. They approach, the ship comes out. They all start noticing it, and the arguing starts immediately. Like, and I mean immediately. They are at each other's throats. Like, and it was released, and throughout the first stage of the movie, this skill keeps going. This dialogue, this harsh dialogue to each other, doesn't let up. Like, they're you know. So, and I thought that was really good because it's realistic. It's realistic. That is what people would be like in that situation, and that's the other reason why I really like this movie. The dialogue is realistic, right? The attitudes are spot on to someone that has survived something like that or has post-traumatic stress, and they're tired and they're hungry. And mate, me without a coffee in the morning, oh shit, get me in season 4 of Vikings, I tell you. Like, jeez Louise, like, me without a coffee, yeah, good luck. The other thing that really that I loved about this movie is that when the vampires go down this Strigoi path, and I'm like, wow, this hasn't been toyed with since Del Toro, The Strand. Like, and they kind of go that path, and so I like the fact that they specifically, the origins are Romanian, and the coffins are metal as, like, oh my god, like if I had to design my coffin, like everyone would be like, fuck Joe, like, what are you doing? But I'm just like, this is my coffin, like, this is what I want. The book I loved, the design. This is what I'm saying. The design and the people involved in this movie, like, was amazing. The fact that they've got a Australian naval ship and they converted it into a German naval ship was well done as well. People are jumping up and down about it. Oh, well, the German battleship would have looked like. Fucking relax. Like, you know, it's pretend. Like, enjoy it. Like, anyway, pull it in, ring it in. Stop ranting. Yeah, so the props, it's good. It's good. It's really well done. Like, well done. And so, well, they filmed it in Melbourne, so they managed to get it before the COVID issue created that started in Victoria. So, yeah. So, like I said, the whole Strigoi kind of angle I thought was brilliant. They didn't just go, oh, it's a vampire at the end. Like, they went through a whole thing. And the info dump on this vampire was fantastic. It was done visually. It was done with some really clever music. Now, what I mean by that, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to spoil that. That's fantastic. It's non-verbal. Like you piece it together what they're talking about, and it's just shown to you in a clip, and that is it. That's your info, and you know what you're dealing with. Like afterwards, that I thought was really, really good. And then, like I said, a massive shout out to Wicked of Oz for all their stuff involved with this movie. Absolutely sensational. So Justin, cast and crew, special effects department, the music, just fucking 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Go out and buy it. It's $20. So Australian viewers, you can get it at JB Hi-Fi. I got it on JB Hi-Fi. It's available at Sanity as well. And I think you can go on Microsoft if you go on the Xbox and start. You can buy it or rent it or whatever. You're going to like it. I'm really, really, really surprised if really surprised if you say I didn't like this movie. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, and look, I'm gonna call it. I will tell you to hand in your horror card, your horror fan card, and get the fuck out. Like, that would be my response to that. So, yeah. In fact, don't tell me that you don't like this movie. This is probably your best advice. Don't tell me that you didn't like this movie. Just don't say anything. That's the best thing to do. Just don't say anything. You go, good on you, Joe. You liked it. Great. And stay quiet. Yeah, so that's it for me. Blood Vessel, check it out. High recommend, 10 out of 10. Awesome movie. Another little kind of mini news going around is Shudder is now available in Australia. So I signed up for that, so I'm pretty excited that Australia finally gets a sniff at Shudder. So I don't know if we're going to be sharing the same streaming as the US or as Canada, but I know we still can't get the app. It's not available yet to us. We've just got so I can only access it via the computer and also on my phone, opening up a browser, but I can't. The actual Shudder app is not available yet for me to download on my phone. So I'll happily wait for that. That's fine. I've already got a list of movies that I want to get cracking into. They've got Creepshow on. I am hanging out for Creepshow. So yeah, it's kind of like fucking horror Christmas for me at the moment. Today was the trifecta, right? So I got Shudder, I got Blood Vessel, and I got the George Romero book, the late George Romero's book, that I think it was Daniel. Damn it, I forgot the guy's name. But he's done the book in regard for George Romero. So check it out, The Living Dead. Definitely check that out. I think it's available online. So yeah, if you want to listen to Audible or the thing as well. So cool. I also managed to pick up a Nightmare on Elm Street Cadillac with Freddy as well. So that was pretty cool. So that's kind of taken pride and place in my little horror prop section in the back, and I'm just waiting on some more horror t-shirts. And man, I'm hanging out for Blood Vessel a t-shirt. I'm gonna rock the shit out of that t-shirt. I will not wear it to church, however. It's probably the only place where I will not wear it. But everywhere else, yeah, kids' birthdays, the whole works, you know. Yeah. My daughter's first day of kindy, and it's being over the top. It's exaggerating, but yeah, it's an awesome cover design, and just an awesome movie. And again, I love it. So that's it. This is a very happy Zombie Joe signing off from the crypt. Stay scary, and I'll see you next time.